What up, YouTube? It's Two Fat Guys Pull Us, and before we get to our video, we wanted to let you know about our Milestone Giveaway for 1,000 subscribers.
We are giving away an Amazing Spider-Man issue number 4. This is the first appearance of Silk, the original Sin tie-in. I'm sure everybody is familiar with this book. This is a CBCS 9.8.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Big boy.
This book is much hotter than it was when we first bought it for the show.
Yep, that's true.
You insist on still giving it away, and I'm very happy to do it.
You can tell that he is not. But anyway, we are giving this away when we hit 1,000 subscribers. Kick-ass, key issue, first appearance of Silk, is someone's going to win this book. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and let's get to the video, shall we? We got breaking comic book news. Ms.Marvel returns as a mutant in the series co-written by the Marvel's star. It has been announced that Ms.Marvel in the comics is now going to be considered a mutant just like she is in her show. And we're getting a new X-Men comic, if you will. But yeah, they're retconning Ms.Marvel into being a mutant. And it's going to be co-written by the Ms.Marvel, who the Ms.Marvel is in the show on Disney Plus, and then we'll have some other writers that are also connected. You know, we've talked about this before, where when will it happen where whatever happens in the movies or whatever happens in the Disney Plus shows, when does that start affecting comics? When do they start retconning that stuff into the comics? And I guess it only took, you know, when we started thinking about it, about 3 or 4 years after Disney Plus got launched, right? Mm-hmm. Me personally, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. You don't have a problem with what's happening here?
What's happening with this specific situation with Ms.Marvel? Because is it sloppy? Yes, right? Because initially they made her an Inhuman because Marvel didn't have the actual movie and TV rights to the mutants, so they didn't want to do that, even though I think it was stated a while back that in the Ms.Marvel show, the writer was like, we had always intended her to be a mutant, but things got switched up because of the movie rights. Yeah. And so is it sloppy that she's an Inhuman and now she's a mutant? Yes.
Sloppy.
Very sloppy. But I feel like for continuity's sake, and for someone, not necessarily for a seasoned reader, but for someone who is just getting into this content, right? And I watched the show, she's a mutant, where can I go read comics about Ms.Marvel, right? And if they go to the shop and, you know, we're just getting out of the Marvels movie and they want to go to the comic book shop and there's a Ms.Marvel, you know, New Mutant #1, that continuity for that reader is synced, right? Now, for me and you, not so much, right? And I understand the frustration with that, but to me, for the bigger picture, I think I'm okay with it.
Oh man, I just have so many opinions. So
crucify me. Go ahead.
No, it's not that at all. I think that there are two big things here. Does this make sense linearly for comic books? I would say yes.
Okay.
Does this set a terrible and terrifying precedent? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I would rather this book not exist and this thing not happen, because I think the precedent that it sets is worse than the value we might get from it.
Okay.
I think having the MCU and what we're doing in the MCU control and have such a huge impact in comic books is really scary and really bad. I think that will cause a ton more retconning that is nonsensical.
Okay.
However, I don't think that this is nonsensical. I actually think this is perfect. If you were to do this, this is the one that makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. And I think it could fit the overall Marvel comic book universe quite well.
Yo, I'm interrupting the video. I gotta talk about our 950 subscriber goal giveaway. We are so close to hitting 950 subscribers, and when we do, we're giving away something really kick-ass. When we hit 950 subscribers, we're giving away this CBCS graded 9.8 King in Black #5 Ryan's segment spoiler variant. So when we hit 950 subscribers, we're giving this bad boy away. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like. Let's get back to the video.
The thing that scares me the most, and I'm sure the writer of this book gave it her all, and it could be a really good book. But to me, we're really going to be changing the way that Krakoa works, because I'm sure this is going to be some kind of resurrection protocol, some sort of like, are we just going to bring back all superheroes? No, we are. No, we're not. I think the vibe's totally going to change in Krakoa because of this.
Yeah.
And the fact that we don't have a mainstay Krakoa artist writing this book, or a writer writing this book, is to me is very bad. It's very bad.
Well,
and not only that, you have someone who has no comic book experience at all. Like, she has no, like, I'm sure she's done her research. I'm sure.
Well, she is like, when you see her at the premieres, she is goo goo gaga for Marvel Comics. I think she is a comic book nerd. Like, she is very well.
And that's why I'm saying is I have hope, and I will be of this book because of that. If this was just someone that was just sort of out of nowhere, but that didn't seem to have any sort of presence or care, then I probably. I really worry about the precedent that this sets. Like, there are so many different things that we could change that are legitimately bad, that could have ramifications that would make the vast majority of comic book people upset, and the MCU none the wiser because they don't know.
No, I agree, but I also think we need to. I think as a fandom, you know, we kind of got this sense the other day with when you said that that Harold is no longer covering XMen Comics.
Right. I
think we are getting set up for the actual fall of Krakoa. I think the current state of X-Men Comics is going to change drastically even when this book comes out. I think we have maybe at most a year left in the Krakoa era. I think we're getting really close to game-changing reset in the X-Men comic books, but we've got to get a couple other things in here, a couple other characters and situations set before we do that. And I think this is one of those things. But I also could see the situation where the show ends. It's the Captain Marvel, or Ms. Marvel ends on Disney Plus. The big bombshell that she's a mutant drops, and I guarantee you the comic book division of Marvel was like, this is a good idea. Why don't we just, why not? Like, we're here. It's happened in the show. Like, I know that however it was conspired or thought of, there's probably a mix of everything. But I'm telling you right now, it wasn't this, like, I don't think it was this huge planned thought thing. Like, you know, like, this is the direction we're taking Ms. Marvel. I think there was just this, like, aha moment where we have a situation here where we can actually integrate continuity in the MCU with our comics. And I don't think they've thought much about what the ramifications of that is. Like you're saying, like, how scary and how shitty that could be for other situations that it may not necessarily align with perfectly. Yeah. And so we'll have to see what happens there. You know, like, is it because it's a good idea, or is it because we're trying to cut budgets and we're trying to cut books, so we need to, you know, reformulate things? Who knows? I think it's a mixture of both.
Whatever it is, Disney, I mean, because let's not get this twisted. This is a Disney decision.
Right.
Disney feels like Ms. Marvel is a marketable character, because we are having a lot of things change for Ms. Marvel. Not only did she get her own TV show, but there's a million other characters that could have gotten their own TV show. But she got a TV show. We're doing this book change, but I don't know if you saw this. They just got announced that Ms. Marvel is going to get syndicated on ABC. They're putting it on normal cable TV.
Yeah, I just saw that. But is it just going to be the first season, or like, are we going to get another season on TV too?
Well, they have not announced the second season yet. No,
Right.
they're not going to with the writer's strike on.
Right.
But the first season is going to be the first of every single Disney exclusive show that's actually going to get shown on normal TV. Like, this is getting shown on a channel that you can get with rabbit ears on your TV. Like, this is not cable. This is basic TV.
Who still has rabbit ears, dude?
I'm just saying that there's this, everyone in the planet that has a TV will have access to this.
This is the age of streaming, bro. Everybody has.
I know you. We're gonna have to check your privilege a little bit, okay?
Shut up.
Because you need to chill out. Not everyone's got.
What? Not everybody has 14 Apple TVs in every room that they own.
Exactly. So I think that just shows that there's being, like, Disney thinks Ms. Marvel is a marketable character. Oh, and I obviously forgot the big thing with that she's going to be co-starring in it. So, like,
yeah,
there's a lot of chips going into Ms. Marvel.
I think it's good though.
I mean, I think it's good because I think someone has in chat has said this multiple times, but has said that Ms. Marvel has had a tough time keeping a book on the shelves. I actually think that's Marvel's fault and not the character's fault, because she hasn't had an ongoing in 5 years. No, people aren't picking up minis consistently enough to. You don't give someone a mini and then prove that you should deserve an ongoing. That's not how we do it anymore.
Yeah, right.
It's just, oh, you had a mini and then, oh shit, we haven't done anything with this character here later. I think though, you put the deterrence away and you just kind of look at the overall numbers. I think people prefer the characterization of Ms. Marvel that we got, like her individual characterization that we got in the TV show, maybe a little bit more than what we've had lately in the comic books, and they're trying to shift the comic books more towards that personality.
Right.
Maybe it'll work.
I have high hopes for it. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I think this is going to also make a lot of people go back and read some of the Champion stuff when, like, I think Cyclops was involved, or whenever they had a team together, because, like, there was even, and we'll get into that when we get into a review with Fallen Friend, where we've got some history with Ms. Marvel and Cyclops, and I don't know a lot about it, and I did some reading on it before the show, but I just think there's a lot that checks all the boxes when it comes to, like, why we got into the hobby, which is there's material that says, hey, do you want to know more? And it's actually intriguing, because some other comic book publishers who remained, who we will not name, DC, throw in these little, like, hey, do you want to know more? But it's more just a little clip of something of why Superman has a blue S on his chest and not a red S, like, whatever. But I think Marvel is doing a really good job of saying, hey, we've got this new book coming out. There's some character dynamic here that you may not understand. So here's a reading order, or here's a list of comics that you can read to understand what's going on here. So I'm very hopeful for it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But I totally understand what you're saying with this hesitancy and this trepidation towards the MCU dictating what's being published in comics. I totally get that. And yeah, that's a very fine line to walk, and we'll have to wait and see just how it goes. So,
I think we both were at the same conclusion, though, right? Cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic, but also excited, because I think we're both very tired when it comes to X-Men books, and we're ready for a change. So, anyway,
this isn't the right place for that rant.
Anyway, that's going to do it for this breaking comic book news segment. Thanks for everybody who is watching this live, and thanks to everybody who's watching this as a past segment. This will be going up as a past segment on our YouTube channel. So if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like, and we'll catch you in the next breaking comic book news segment. Later.